NASA says it's on track for a critical test tied to its historic moon mission. It says the Space Launch System rocket will go through what's called a wet test as soon as Saturday. It's the next step in bringing 4 astronauts to the moon. I had the privilege of talking to one of them during prior space news coverage. Testing of the Space Launch System rocket will include its fuel usage during a practice run. NASA says if the test goes well, the mission to send astronauts around the moon may happen in the next few months. One of those astronauts, you see him here in this NASA photo, is Artemis II pilot Victor Glover.
It is just a spectacular thing to see from here.
It won't be his first foray to space. He previously spent 6 months aboard the International Space Station, the first black astronaut to do so.
And it's very obvious from up here is how thin our atmosphere is and just how special it is for there to be human life on this planet.
I had the privilege to interview Glover one-on-one for my radio show 2.5 years ago while covering the International Space Symposium. That's when the astronaut told me what makes this upcoming mission unique and a stepping stone.
When we launch, we're going to launch into an orbit that's elliptical and then spend about the first 24 hours around the Earth. And we're going to do some manual flying of the Orion capsule to make sure that we could precisely control it to dock to the gateway or to the lander.
Then the crew will do the burn called the translunar injection, a burn that propels them on a trajectory that uses gravity and that energy to slingshot the spacecraft to the moon and back to Earth.
Before we get into a more complicated mission like Artemis 3 or 4 could be, where we may dock to a lunar lander and then have half the crew go to the surface of the moon or go into a space station like the Lunar Gateway.
The team involved in Artemis II knows that the upcoming testing might prove more maintenance or engineering is needed that could put off their launch. But the thrill of space exploration and the importance of the mission are concepts astronaut Glover holds dear, as it'll be the first time humans have returned to the moon since 1972.
What I'm most excited about is the future of human spaceflight and the fact that this is going to be the future.
That moon rocket and spacecraft sit now on the launch pad at Kennedy Space Center after a slow rollout. The Artemis II test flight will be NASA's first mission with crew aboard the SLS rocket and Orion spacecraft.